Hi, so I'm here with Chad Simpkins of Michigan Solar, based out of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Lucky to have them as a client with Solar Client System here for about 5 months, kind of approaching 6. Chad, thanks so much for being here with us. How's your day going?
Very well. Thank you, Noah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Obviously, we've been working together kind of since you came on with Solar Client System, but how did you kind of hear about us and how did you kind of, initially make the step to join us with our lead program?
Yeah, good question. So when we first were starting out looking with you guys, we were looking for a better way to get leads in. We had been using other systems, buying leads from different companies. All of them promised to be exclusive. None of them were. All of them promised new hot leads. None of them were. And we went down a number of different paths with different companies. We were highly skeptical. We were felt like we had been taken advantage of by a few individuals who were less than scrupulous, and so there was another one of your competitors out there selling a system where you learn how to do Facebook advertising and do all that stuff yourselves. We kind of tried exploring that, and then spoke with Andrew from your group, and from right off the beginning, he gave us a nice, comfy, warm feeling, although we were still highly skeptical. But we decided to give it a chance and try to go down this road, and couldn't be happier. So
Yeah, that's great to hear. I think obviously there is some situations sometimes where there's maybe a little bit of skepticism, and we're obviously glad you took the plunge, and we feel like now kind of 5 months on, we're kind of a core partner with what you guys do in Michigan, which is great. How have you kind of find the onboarding experience, and kind of how have you found, I guess, kind of the support team and everything we've done kind of since, I guess, that speaking with Andrew and kind of actually getting the system rolling? How has that been?
yeah, I think there's a couple parts to that. Number one, from the very first conversation we had with Andrew to the onboarding, and then ever since, everything that we discussed in our initial meeting that you guys said you could deliver on has come to fruition, and has been almost spot on in terms of the cost, the expectation, how fast it'll take to ramp, and what we should expect to see along the way. With one slight exception, obviously we turned up the heat a few times on you, so and the adjustment has been very good. I think the one thing that I would say that you undersold your abilities, or the company did, in terms of your ability to deliver consistently and effectively, and also the responsiveness and the support that we get from you individually and from your team as a whole has been second to none. I mean, we really value Solar Client Systems as an integral part of our company, and really a critical component as we move forward. Everyone on our appointment setting team loves the interactions that we have, the support from phone, the availability, just pick up the phone, call you, text you, email you, and get maybe not the immediate answer, but have that conversation and discuss what issues they are seeing, or want to, whatever changes they want to see implemented, and be able to have open discussions on how that will impact other parts of our CRM, or the business, how it works in general. So, and somebody who, I know I'm rambling, but also somebody who understands the business and what we're trying to achieve. We feel like you guys get it, where we're at, where we're going, and where we want to be, and kind of those growth steps in between as we start climbing that ladder and making changes in our business. It's nice to know that somebody understands what we're going through and how to help support us in the best way. So we feel it's a really good partnership. We couldn't do more.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Chad. And I think you touched on a few great points in there that I think there's, well, number one, I think initially the appointment setting team you have in place has been an integral part of this, right? We always say there is really 3 sides to the kind of the lead system in solar, right? There's providing the hot leads and providing true leads for our clients. There's also the sales program on the back end where your team is able to go in and push deals over the line, but there is that middle piece of having quality appointments set. And I think that's one thing that Michigan Solar was able to come with us, is that you had the sales thing figured out, and you had a solid appointment setting team in place to begin with. And we needed to just bring in the hot leads. And that, I think, has really allowed this partnership to grow over 5 months. You touched on kind of opening the faucet a little bit. And when you first started with us, you were spending $1,500 per month on ads. And at some points in our program, have been up to around $25,000 per month in ads. I wanted to kind of see how that increase in ad spend has kind of positively affected your system and allowed you to kind of scale and grow and, you know, bring on other sales guys, open up new markets. How has that been?
Yeah, for sure. So first, let me back up, and I know that's what you want me to focus on, but I would say that very quickly we realized that our ad spend with you was delivering a high quality, interested prospect to our system, and we were able to schedule and book those appointments and close them at a very high rate. You know, for us, we're closing somewhere around 35 to 40% of those raw leads that come into the system. It gave us quite a bit of confidence that the system was working, so it enabled us to really free up our time to focus on other areas. And prior to that, we were really focused heavily on how do we get leads in, how do we get appointments set. It was taking up an inordinate amount of time, and you know, just going through the Facebook ads myself and trying to set some up and get them out there. It took a lot of time and effort, you know, getting it going. And I'm not you know, an expert in it. So I was learning as I was going and making some rookie mistakes and things like that. So pulling myself away from that and enabling your team to do that enabled us to focus on other areas, including the scaling up. And when we looked at scaling, we said, okay, we've got these leads, and we had that conversation with you. How much do we have to spend to get to the next level? So we did that. And then, you know, that was producing the same results that we were experiencing before, just bigger. And then we took our team from just myself and my business partner to now we have 12 salespeople. We're booking these leads. The flow is coming in, you know, tremendously. So we've expanded our appointment setting team as well. Kind of gone through some changes there, as you know. But being able to apply a little bit extra money to our ad spend in those critical areas, that enabled our team to be able to focus on, you know, hey, how now we can add more people in the right areas to go see folks and get those deals done. And our close rate remains still high. Our leads, I don't know if you want me to say this, but our relative to what we were doing before, our raw leads coming into the system have maintained somewhere close to about $15 a lead coming in, which is fantastic. You know, it's right on target with where we were talking about initially, and it's kind of maintained that even as we've scaled. And so our customer acquisition cost has gone way down, and that's enabled us to, you know, take that money and focus it on other areas of the business. And that's something that is critical as we continue to scale and grow. We want to be able to maintain that, or at least have confidence in our ability to work with you and work within the system to get to that next level. Yep. So the value is there for us. It has been. We continue to see the value in the system. Like I said, the one thing that we look at internally is, are we hitting those customers as fast as we can, as soon as they, you know, click on our ad and give their information? That's something we have to work on, but we're getting better and better at that all the time. So I feel like it's working.
Yeah, of course. And we've definitely seen it scale and work, right? I come into your CRM and I look just at the number of leads. I look at the number of people who've been kind of pushed through your pipeline, right? Of people who've been sat, pitched, and awaiting that follow-up as you kind of slowly build this out, and, you know, not only closing deals for now, but ensuring that in 4 months, you're going to have more deals and more deals coming through and actually installing. Right. The one thing I just wanted to kind of ask is, I feel like there's been so many deals kind of put through in our system in these kind of 5-6 months you've been with us, but what do you think kind of the overall value you would say is of deals that have been installed, deals that are waiting for install, or maybe if you have that number in kind of like rough kilowatts, like where are you kind of looking at as far as results?
So first I would say that not just initially, but even now, the people that we've hired and brought on board in terms of sales, when they go on appointments, some of them have had experience with other solar companies and such, and they're pleasantly surprised at the quality of the appointments that they're being booked for them, because these customers are interested, they're ready, they're eager, it's a whole different atmosphere when you walk in and somebody wants to meet with you. So we feel like the quality of the leads is very high, especially considering our past experience with other people. And so when we get to that really sets the tone as to how you do when you show up, right? Somebody's happy to see you and waiting for you. And I would say that, so that kind of sets the stage as to your success, right? And so we look at the numbers in terms of, are we able to scale? Are we hitting where we want? So initially we were thinking, hey, if we can get 10 deals a month, that would be great. This pay for itself. We quickly blew that out of the sky. And I think in the first 90 days, we did something, I don't have it in front of me right now, but I can go look it up. But it was something on the order of like 90 some actual closed won deals in the pipeline. And then we were working through getting those installed. And so that equates to about $3.5 million in raw sales. That was just me and my partner out selling. And then when we scaled up and added additional salespeople, you can double those numbers. And I really haven't been out selling, and neither has my partner. It's been all these other folks selling for us. And so I feel like we close at a little higher rate than they do, but at the same time, now I'm not on the road every day. I'm focused on building out my install team and working with some other areas that I want to work with. So
yeah, it's nice when you're able to kind of remove yourself from your company as the lead salesperson, right? When you're able to now kind of start to kind of delegate some things out and start to look at the bigger picture. So obviously,
I've been twice removed.
Yeah,
twice removed. I got pulled out of doing the advertising and all the marketing up front, and so I could focus on the sales team, and then got the sales team up and running. Now I'm pulled out of the sales team. Now I'm working on the install team and our project management folks and helping build out those teams. So,
well, that's awesome, and that's really kind of the dream scenario and what we want to see from our clients. And it's been absolutely awesome watching it kind of come together for you guys. Coming in on our base program and spending $1,500. What would you say to someone who's maybe kind of hesitant to join the program, or maybe hesitant to kind of listen to our suggestions or coaching about spending a little bit more on ads, jumping up to spending $3K or $4K per month in ads? What would you say to someone who's maybe on the fence about that, coming from the past of kind of being burned from some other lead programs?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, that the best decision we ever did is to trust you guys and to work with you guys, because like I said, it's enabled us to grow tremendously, get ourselves to that next level and start working on the business instead of in the business and doing all those things that we talked about. And then the other thing is that you guys are true professionals. You know your craft, you know what you're talking about, you know how to execute it. And the discussions that we have not been one-sided